Alrighty, we're going to tie the Mardi Craw today in a little bit of a variation from our normal Mardi Craw that Montana Fly Company produces. This variation has been real successful for me over the last number of years that just adding some claws and some more profile and more of a realistic look to the pattern. We started out with a size 1. This is just a standard streamer hook, straight eye. This happens to be a Montana Fly Company articulated streamer hook, and we've put 4 brown beads. These are the Pro 3D beads from Hairline Dubbin. These are the brown color. I'm going to start out with some Vivus 140 power thread. I'm just going to add some lead eyes to the front of this. I like to have these patterns have some nice weight to them. Allows me to swim in a couple different ways. This really is designed to be more of a swimming bait fish, or excuse me, a swimming crayfish. More of that serpentine motion to it, but it also does a great hop and drop type of feel to it as well. I'm going to go ahead and take some large lead, and I do these in both lead and in a brass, large brass as well. Kind of depends on the water that you're fishing and how fast you want it to sink, but I carry both in my box. So we'll just do some tight X-wraps on there and then go around the base and get that nice and secured to the hook. I'm going to take this first 3D bead and I'm going to push it all the way up into those lead eyes there. What that's going to do is it's going to help to secure those lead eyes. I'm going to hop my thread over the top of it and I'm going to pull backwards. I'm just going to put a little dam of thread there. That's going to lock in that bead so that it doesn't spin on us. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to push that next bead and hop over the top and do the same thing. I'm pulling these beads together so that there's no way that those beads will start to spin or come apart on us. So it's real important that we lock these beads down, otherwise your pattern can start to kind of fall apart on you as you're fishing it with those beads moving. So getting those things nice and locked down is a crucial key component. So we're going to take this back to the barb here. We're going to add our marabou. Our marabou is going to be Montana Fly Company Barred Buggerboo. This is a great product from Montana Fly Company that's got, this is the mini barred marabou in an olive and brown, 2 inches. I'm going to take this. We're going to take 2 pieces of this, and this is a pretty light set of pieces. Okay, so we've got some nice wispy tips to this. And on the back side of this, which will actually be the front, which is the head of the crayfish, we're going to put a little less than 1 shank length worth of marabou. I'll lift that up, I'm going to bring it back, capture it right behind those beads. Everything we're doing in this is pushing those beads further towards those lead eyes. I'm going to clip those off. I'm going to take our rubber legs here, and our rubber legs are going to be these fly enhancer legs in a light blue and pumpkin. This coloration works really well here in Colorado. I love having that little bit of blue in there, and it also kind of models it up a little bit with the brown, with the olive mixed together. So I'm going to take 4 pieces here from our new package. I'm going to take them and I'm going to go underneath my bobbin and put them around the thread. When I do that, I'm going to place them right on this side. I'm going to pull them over and across to the other side. So I've got them on each side of the marabou there. What that's going to do is it's going to let those things hang off the end a little bit, and I'm just going to cut those a little bit different lengths as I go down. I just kind of move my scissors and cut, and then makes them not all blunt edge there. And this is where we're going to have our claws. Now this is the variation from the original Mardi Craw, and this is going to be pheasant rump. This is an olive coloration. We're going to take 4 pieces of olive pheasant rump. I like these claws to be fairly stout. You can definitely do one piece, but I prefer to pair two pieces together on these sides. And so you can look for some nice ones that are similar in size and color. I like to do it right down at the base of the rump, where if I were looking at the feathers are going upwards, I am going towards the bottom of that pelt. Okay? I'm going to take these pieces here, and I'm going to face them out away so that they make claws that are going to go away from the body. Okay, so you've got essentially the dull side facing outward, shiny side facing towards the marabou. I'm just going to capture those, and I can take those off. I like to have the little heavier weight on here with the clawed version. Kind of helps it stick up a little bit, and I do the brass eyes more often on the non-clawed version. Do the same thing on this side over here, match those up. Goes a little bit more even. This side towards me was a little short. I'll make sure that those are nice and even on there. We'll go ahead and cut off the tips here. Notice I leave that marabou on because you get a little bit of that marabou fluff coming off, and it just kind of helps to break up that transitional section in there. But we've got some nice claws in there. Okay, we're going to add in our hackle. Our hackle is going to be Whiting Farms. This is a American rooster saddle, and we're looking for some, on this first one, a nice webby, almost schlappen type of feather. And I'm going to take that feather and I'm going to pare it down about midway down the feather. I'm going to cut that off on a tip there. I'm going to capture this on my side, and I'm going to give some nice close, kind of touching wraps to the back side here, back behind this bead. Just give some legs and some movement and some profile to what is actually the front of this fly. And I'm going to butt those right up against that bead. I'm going to capture it with two wraps. I'm going to pull straight down and then give two wraps behind it. Cut off that stem for us. And I'm going to jump over to in between these two beads, and I'm going to put a little band of thread here. That band of thread is just going to give us a little bit more platform to tie onto. I'm going to go in and I'm going to find another feather, but I want it to be just a tad bit shorter than the first feather that we did. We're going to kind of pair this back as we go through, and I'm going to pair this off a little higher up on the feather even. Thing that I like about this Whiting rooster saddle instead of this American rooster, instead of schlappen, is it's a little bit stiffer in barb rigidity than schlappen, so it tends to stick up just a little bit more, gives it a little bit more profile and movement when you're stripping this. Okay. And just going to add a little bit. It's really easy to overdress this. Now you're going to see the beads come through there when that thing gets wet. They're going to shine right nice and through. It's going to be a great looking bug underneath the water. So I'm just going to kind of get those things. Might throw a half hitch in there if you feel it moving a little bit, but if you're tying these in and stroking back, they get nice and solid. And I'm going to come over the top, same thing. I'm going to create a little platform, a little band of thread there for us to tie on. I'm going to go even just a little bit shorter this time. Pick a feather that is even maybe has a little bit of that traditional saddle look to it, instead of the webbiness that we see in this American saddle. I'm going to tie in the last section here. notice that I'm only doing 2 to 3 wraps. Really kind of depends. You have different types of feathers. Like on that one, it's a little bit thicker than some of the other ones. I'm going to take that one and only do 2 wraps on there. Okay. Throw a hitch there. And then we'll hop forward. If you want to, you can throw another set of hackles right in there. I do that sometimes just if I want it to be a little more subtle. That bead on the front makes a really cool little hot spot almost for when I'm fishing it, that little bead on the front there. But sometimes I want it to be a little more covered up. I might throw another set of hackles on the inside here of the lead eyes. It's a little tricky going around those lead eyes. I might have to clean back some of those to make sure that you're not coming inside of that. Tie that off, hop forward to the front here. And I'm just going to finish right behind those eyes. Right, we can go ahead and turn that over. We're going to clean it up a little bit, make sure that there's no hackle fibers sticking out on the top here, and maybe we didn't capture with our thread. And then we're going to add a little bit of UV resin on the top here, just to give it a little bit more resistance towards rocks and teeth and anything else that might try to catch those threads there at the front. Okay, so I'm going to let that sink in a little bit. Cover up the bottom side of these as well. I'll hit that with the light. And I'll usually just do one more little cap on here, just makes it look nice. I'm sure the fish don't care whatsoever. Makes it nice and shiny looking. And you're finished. That's the we call it the Mardi Craw 2 or whatever. It's just a little variation on the original Mardi Craw. Sits nice and straight up like that in the water, where we've got a nice profile of that crayfish. We've got some nice claws on there, some legs coming out the front, and that nice profile of the body with the saddle hackle. Great little fly in a variety of different colors. Montana Fly Company carries the originals in orange and olive, a tan and brown color, an olive and blue color, which is a little bit darker blue, and then a black and white color, which I thought I had here sitting, but apparently I don't. So it's that's a great little color combination as well. But I've really been loving this color right here, that brown and olive mixed together with a little bit of blue in the claws. Just a really great color combination in the water. Tie some up. If I can help you in any way, please don't hesitate to ask. See you on the river. Regal Engineering, manufacturers of the best fly tying vices and accessories. For more information, find RockyMountainFlyDesign.com.